They call it a league of opportunity. A league for second chances. For the Birmingham Iron, the AAF is about forging on. It's about Roll Tide. It's about War Eagle. Former stars from Troy, Sanford, and South Alabama. Pro football doesn't end in February. No, it's just beginning. And you can find it right here.
CBS 42 presents Countdown to the Birmingham Iron Kickoff.
Pro football in Birmingham, Alabama. All is right with the world. The Iron kick off their inaugural season tomorrow at Legion Field. And coming up, we're going to take you inside the program from every angle to get you set for the AAF season. And you're going to recognize plenty of names from college football Saturdays in Tuscaloosa and Auburn. We go one-on-one with former Tide and Tiger greats looking to find their way into pro football once again. And she is leading the charge on the Iron's defensive line. The story of Coach Lo Locust's unique path to the Iron and why her final chapter has yet to be written. Welcome to CBS 42's coverage of the AAF and the Birmingham Iron. We are with you live for the next 30 minutes leading up to the first game tonight on CBS 42 between Orlando and Atlanta. It's a league where we have no idea what to expect. All the teams holding their training camp in San Antonio, Texas from January 4th to February 2nd. And for just the last week, the Iron are back in town at Legion Field practicing. That's been our first chance to see the team up close and personal. But no matter what happens tomorrow on the field, it will not be for a lack of enthusiasm.
Needless to say, I'm excited as heck. The players are really excited. I'm hoping the fans come out and cheer us on. It's been a long process, like you said. We've gone through mini camps and training camps, and we've put it together the right way. I'm really excited about the people coming out and seeing what the Birmingham Iron way is.
They're sick of talking about it. They want to play just like a normal football team. Smo and Eli with us now. Pro football is not new in Birmingham. There's been a lot of leagues and a lot of diversity, and none of them lasted too long, though.
You're absolutely right, and very few of those teams, like you said, went more than one season here in the Magic City. And I asked people in the know why the AAF and the Birmingham Iron are expected to be different than the rest.
If there's one thing for sure, the state of Alabama loves their football. So why have so many professional teams come and gone from the state's biggest city?
Birmingham will support it and has supported.
Iron General Manager Joe Pendry says the city has nothing to do with the failed franchises.
They didn't have the ownership, or they didn't have the management that it takes, which we have.
He's got room to run. It's a foot race at the end.
The Outlaws, Thunderbolts, Barracudas, Fire Stallions, Vulcans, Americans all had brief stints in the Magic City. However, the Steel Dogs, Birmingham's Arena League affiliate, had 8 successful seasons from 2000 to 07. The team's owner, Scott Myers, says local tie-ins helped make that possible.
We wanted to have as many local players as we could get. So having those players that fans know, that people have supported, they naturally like to continue supporting them.
With more than a dozen former Alabama and Auburn players, the Iron have just that and more.
We're working along with the NFL, and we think that people will watch football in the spring.
Leadership at the top level is significant. Bill Polian, Charlie Ebersol, you've got some folks that know what they're doing at the league level.
With the CBS Sports broadcast deal, NFL relationships and leadership, executives are confident the AAF is here to stay.
We have the necessary ingredients to make it successful with a long-term plan, not just a one-year plan.
So the plan is in place, but the real success for the Alliance will be ticket sales. Team executives, coaches, and players have been making a big push for the community involvement over the last few weeks, including a preseason pump-up party Thursday night at Iron City, filled with meet and greet for fans and autographs and more. Those we spoke with are excited for game day.
Man, we are fired up. We're ready to forge on.
We're real excited. It's going to be a great season full of a bunch of players that we know, and I'm really excited for the product. We got college teams, Auburn, Alabama, UAB's been good. I think the Birmingham Iron are actually bringing them teams together, the fan base together.
And if you're headed to Legion Field tomorrow, get there early. The first 20,000 fans get a free blackout t-shirt. For John, Chris Brees.
Yeah, I'm forwarding on, and I'll tell you what's going to sell all those tickets. It's the homegrown talent on this roster. 18 guys played college ball in the state, representing Alabama, Auburn, Troy, Sanford, South Alabama. Chris Wrinkle now takes us through all the familiar faces you're going to see tomorrow.
For many, many years, the iconic moments of Alabama and Auburn playing football happened at Legion Field. But now the old gray lady opens up a new chapter with the Alliance of American Football and the Birmingham Iron, with 15 former Tide and Tigers players on its roster, 10 from the University of Alabama and 5 players from Auburn. These guys know that this is their shot to prove what they can do on the field and continue their football career.
Man, it is great. It is great because I see fans around all the time. I do a lot of stuff in the community, and everybody's excited. Everybody, coming out to watch, and people, they really believe in it. And a lot of people believe in me, and so that brings me, lift me a lot.
Oh, that's big time, man. I miss those guys wearing that orange and blue. I know it's a blackout, but I know they're gonna wear their orange and blue, so I can't wait to see them.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I know he's excited, and everybody else is excited also.
That's one of the things that the AAF wanted to accomplish when it split up all of its players in different rosters. They wanted guys that the fans knew, the hometown heroes coming back to play football in front of them once again, and definitely will have a hometown feel when the Iron run out of the tunnel on Sunday. Guys?
Kick 6, you got Trent Richardson. What more could you ask for? Plenty more to get to on our countdown to the Birmingham Iron season special. Up next, we're joined by CBS 42's own Mike Johnson. He was our color commentator back in the day in college football. He's back again, and he's actually part of this team. We get his insight on what he's actually doing with the Iron. It's next.
You're watching Countdown to the Birmingham Iron Kickoff.
Back here on our Iron season preview special. We had so much fun on college football Saturday this fall. We had to bring Mike Johnson back in the mix. Glad to have you back with us.
I feel like I'm sitting at home, man, in this chair over here looking at you across the way. But a lot of fun throughout the fall, like you said, and happy to be spending some time back in Birmingham now.
There's also a main reason why Mike is here right now. Mike is going to be the voice on the radio doing color for all these Iron games. How pumped are you for that?
I'm jacked up, man. It's an incredible opportunity, specifically in the city of Birmingham, which a lot of people watching know that I know and love, and being around a lot of people that are involved in this new league that I know and love as well. So it was a perfect fit for me personally and professionally, and it should be a ton of fun.
You already know this team better than anybody because Joe Pendry, the GM, was your positions coach at Alabama, and Tim Lewis was at Atlanta when you were at Atlanta. What can you tell about these guys and how this team's going to be run?
No nonsense type of guys, both of them. Joe Pendry, he knows more football and his little finger than a lot of us will ever know in our entire lives. And, he likes to run the football. He knows that it starts and stops with the offensive line and quarterback play and running backs. I think that's why he was so excited to get Trent Richardson and a lot of Alabama linemen as a part of this roster. But Tim Lewis, same way. No nonsense kind of guy. Really plays from the inside out in terms of the way this offensive and defensive team should look. And a lot of differences in this league, but those guys know football, and I think they'll know how to get it done.
And this league is already doing it right. They have multiple TV deals already. That's big for money. In terms of the NFL wanting to potentially get involved in this in the future, what would the NFL want to see to say, hey, this is a good idea, you can make you maybe a farm team for us?
Yeah, no, I think that's probably something that's on the NFL's horizon. And the fact that the NFL Network has already signed up to broadcast a number of these games, I think is a huge indicator of what they see here. And I think, honestly, it's a huge opportunity for the NFL. So I think it's something that a lot of the NFL people probably up high are probably watching very, very closely what's going on. And I think you will see a partnership in the future.
Very diverse league. How difficult is it going to be for people who have never played together, they don't even know each other, to mesh and actually put a good product on the field?
Well, I think it's going to be typical of any kind of startup football team. When you look at the different pieces, and, listen, there's 10 guys on the team from Alabama. There's 5 guys on the team from Auburn. You have a couple of guys from Mississippi State, all around really southeastern football. But then you got a guy like Luis Perez, who's from Texas A&M Commerce, who comes in and is playing the quarterback position. Anytime you mesh a bunch of guys together, it's going to be tough to kind of pick up and really be at that next level good. But listen, every team in the league, there's 8 teams, they're all dealing with a lot of the same things. So I think starting off, it's different than just an expansion team coming into a league. Everybody's dealing with the same set of circumstances, and so I think it'll make for a lot of entertaining football for sure.
Well, Mike Johnson, thanks so much for being with us. And if you want to listen to Mike every week on the radio, it's WERC 960 AM. He'll be at every home game and every away game. We cannot wait to hear your analysis.
I'm jacked up about it, ready for the Iron to hit the field. Should be a lot of fun.
Time for a break. We're back after this.
You're watching Countdown to the Birmingham Iron kickoff.
One thing is for sure, growth and support for this team is sure there, and they've been earning it too. The team hosted an auction and lunch Monday at the club for hundreds of fans, and one of the cool items auctioned off, a trip to the season finale in Orlando against the Apollos with airfare on the team's charter plane plus sideline passes. As for tomorrow, fans in the stands get to see a new face on the sidelines, breaking gender barriers. Lo Locust is a former D-line intern for the Baltimore Ravens, and now she's with the Iron as assistant DL coach. Chris Wrinkle back with her journey through the coaching ranks.
When the Alliance of American Football was announced, it was seen as a way to give players who didn't make it to the NFL a chance to prove themselves and maybe have another shot at the National Football League. But in the same way, it's giving these coaches a chance not only to hone their skills as coaches, but prove that they belong at the professional level as well. And for assistant defensive line coach Lo Locust, it's her first chance as a full-time assistant to prove her knowledge and that she belongs to professional football.
This is the one thing I'm super passionate about. I'm passionate about my family. You know, I have 2 sons. I'm passionate about, my belief, but I'm super passionate about football.
Iron assistant defensive line coach Lo Locust first found her love of the game of football at a young age. It led her to playing in a women's professional league as a linebacker and defensive end until a knee injury forced her to hang up the shoulder pads and pick up a whistle.
Kind of got bit by the bug. I've been blessed, but I've been on this journey for a while. It's about 13 years this year that I've been coaching football.
Those 13 years involved coaching from just about every level, from high school to the Arena League, each stop expanding her knowledge of the game.
I've driven hundreds of miles to get to clinics that I did on my own dime. I didn't receive payment for a lot of coaching that I volunteered for. But in turn, I was getting the experience. You have to be ready to really, really not expect any big things to happen. You have to work really hard.
The years of hard work paid off as Locust spent this past training camp as a defensive intern with the Baltimore Ravens, which led her to getting a chance to become a full-time assistant with the Iron.
There's really no difference, I don't think, in my path other than the fact that I'm a woman. Does that make sense? So in my head, I'm a coach who happens to be a woman. I'm not a woman who happens to coach.
Her path to the Iron took over a decade, and now Lo Locust has her opportunity to show what she can do on the professional level.
No coach has ever brought me in as a novelty. Nobody brought me in as a media stunt. When they brought me in, they set the tone up front. She's a coach. You're going to listen to her like any other coach. They treated me like a coach. I've never asked for exception. This is something that I'm very serious about, but I also, know how to really get the best out of the players.
And one of the players that Locust was supposed to coach was defensive tackle Lawrence Okoye. Okoye, the former British Olympian and rugby player, was arrested in Shelby County in a prostitution sting just days before the Iron's first game. General Manager Joe Pendry said they're still gathering the facts on what happened, and head coach Tim Lewis says the league is looking into the matter.
But we've been made aware of it. I'm aware of the situation, and we're still in the process of gathering all the information with the league office.
We sat down with Okoye earlier in the week to talk about his journey from England to the United States and playing football, and at the time, he said he was very excited for this opportunity to continue his football career and try to make it back to the National Football League. But now that's a future and a career that is definitely in question. Chris?
Tell you what, off-field distractions becoming very real for this Iron team, that's for sure. Still ahead on our season preview for the Birmingham Iron, the AAF was built to complement the NFL, not to compete with it. So there are major rule changes that are way different from the NFL. How will that impact the play on the field? We'll talk all about it coming up next.
You're watching Countdown to the Birmingham Iron kickoff.
Well, I'd say it's pretty official now because CBS Sports has a preseason AAF power ranking RPI, BPI, body mass index. I don't even know how it goes, but Arizona with Rick Neuheisel and Orlando with Steve Spurrier are number 1 and number 2. The Birmingham Iron down there at 6 out of 8 teams, but that's okay. And it may be hard to know where these teams actually rank. Simone back with us now until the end of the weekend, really. And there's a lot of different things going on with this league, far different from the NFL.
Brees, you're absolutely right. What we do know is you'll see some big-time rule changes on the field. The AAF hoping to make the game safer and more entertaining. And here are the few of the biggies. No kickoffs or extra points. That includes onside kicks. Instead, in that situation, teams will look to convert a 4th and 12 from its own 28-yard line. Defensively, no more than 5 players can rush the passer. The play clock is just 30 seconds and fewer TV timeouts, so games should go a lot faster. And this is a big one and a different one as well. A sky judge will be in the press box with authority to correct obvious and egregious officiating errors. Alliance co-founder Charlie Ebersol weighed in on the league's rule changes.
You look at the least popular play by almost every study that's ever been done in the NFL, the kickoff is the least popular play.
Right.
So why do we still have it?
Yeah.
And so if you can come up with a creative way, and I think Bill and JK come up with an incredibly interesting way to deal with the onside kick, which is that we give if you want to go for an onside kick, instead of having to do the hands team and everything, we give you the ball in your own 35 facing 4th and 10. If you can convert, you get to keep the ball and go. If you don't, the other team gets the ball basically knocking on the door of your red zone.
And those are just a handful of the differences. You can find them all on our sports tab, CBS42.com. And Brees, I'll be honest with you, the kickoff thing is going to be weird. Why do we have it? I don't know, because we always have. But I really do like what they do with the onside kick. I think that's going to create a challenge and a fun challenge.
Yeah, if you're down by 17 or less than 5 minutes left in the game, they're supposed to be 2-hour, 30-minute games. The sky judge thing could be really cool because people are already saying the NFL could look at this and say it's a really good idea. Taking that Saints call a couple of weeks ago that they're all upset about. Sky judge could be something. I also love the fact that you can't blitz off the edge.
You like that?
Past 2 yards outside the tackle, I do.
Okay.
Because think of it this way. What if you have a dominant defensive end who can't be stopped and an offensive line who can't do anything?
Sure.
Boring football. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, I think it's boring football for folks that like to see a lot of points, but a lot of coaches, a lot of defensive coaches who like to see the low-scoring games and quarterbacks having to rush out of the pocket and make plays. I mean, folks like that won't enjoy it maybe as much. Maybe they will enjoy it. It's going to be different. I think that's what makes this intriguing. It's going to get a lot of fan attention because it is different than what we've seen for multiple years.
Well, and you know, people are going to express their opinion very quickly, so we'll find out maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow at the Iron game. And fans wanting to check out that Iron, all about, will get plenty of chances early on in the season. 10 weeks in this regular season. 4 of the first 5 games are at home, starting again with Memphis tomorrow at 3 o'clock. After that, the Iron hit the road, playing 4 of final 5 games away from Legion Field. They're at San Diego. They're at Memphis. The final home game of the season is at Legion Field versus Atlanta, Arizona, in Orlando, and I'll tell you, I'm happy that we're watching football and talking about football in the middle of February, and I'm going down this list of all these rosters. Oh, there's that guy.
Yep.
Oh, there's that guy.
I
like that guy. It's going to be fun.
Yep. And if the Iron get any good juju from UAB, they're going to do really well at Legion Field this year.
Yeah, they are, and we hope you stick with us all spring and summer long as we're covering the Birmingham Iron, hoping to have a fantastic season again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's Birmingham and Memphis, the very first game at Legion Field in the AAF. We'll see what the NFL thinks of this. We'll see you next time.